Hello everyone, how are we all doing? Hope you're doing wonderfully well. I just about 9 hours ago got back home from Berlin. I was there for the European WCQ, where, as you maybe guess, I was playing Regenesis. I will say up front, unfortunately, I did not make day two. I was right on the bubble, didn't quite make it. Even if I had made day two, I had 3 losses, so I likely wouldn't have made top cut. I don't think I could have actually. I'm not entirely sure how all the point system works and everything, but I had a truly fantastic time. I'm going to talk about my time and the fun that I had while I was there a little bit in a wee bit. But main thing, first things first, I'm going to do a deck list because I feel like that's what most people are here for. Want to see the Regenesis deck list and see what's going on with that, right? So let's go over to the deck list. Ooh, it's a little bit off center. There we go. I'll start with the monsters. I'll say up front, this is I would call this a pure Regenesis build. You may call this what you like. I do have 3 Bestials in here. They are the hand traps, you know what I mean? I don't run the Bestial engine, I don't run, what do you call it, Lebellion, I don't have Branded Regained. I think they're fantastic cards. I practice with this deck a lot, found them kind of bricky to be honest. I think that if you want to run just the Regenesis hand traps, amazing, great choice, but I prefer to run this, what do you call it, ratio, there we go. So, starting off, we obviously have 3 Regenesis Archfiend. This is one of the best cards you can start with in your hand. You want to draw it in your opening hand all the time. A fantastic card, it's a searcher. You reveal a 2500 body from your hand. To summon it, it searches a Regenesis card. There you go. That's it, basically. It gets something on the field because if you're not aware, the way Regenesis cards work, most of them require there to be a 2500 body somewhere on the field, either attack or defense. This is what that is. And so it lets you summon your other monsters without needing to rely on other cards to be there. So I also run 1 Lord, kind of a pseudo-searcher. Lord sets 1 Regenesis spell or trap from your deck on summon. So you can use it to set Regenesis, the normal spell, and then activate it and search then and there. So it's kind of a pseudo-searcher in a way. It loads up your graveyard with the Regenesis card, or sets Birth, or sets, what have you. I was actually very against Lord a while ago, but now more recently I've kind of liked it a lot more. I even don't mind opening it. Some people consider it a brick. I don't mind it. As long as I have it paired with Archfiend, or at least, say, Code, or Regenesis or something, as long as I have it paired with something that I can summon it with, I don't consider it to be a brick. It's only as much of a brick as all of the other Regenesis cards are when they are solo, you know? When solo, yes, it's a brick, but so Archfiend is, so, you know. I'm now running 2 Sage. I was running 1, obviously. I think most people run 1. I want to see Sage more often in my opening hand. Your ideal going first hand, your ideal going first turn, I should say, is you want to be able to summon Archfiend, search the trap, summon Sage, set the trap, and then have 3 hand traps and pass turn. That's a solid opening field for Regenesis, because it's an On the Negate, it's a Book of Moon, and then you have 3 hand traps. That will slow down enough decks to get you into your turn 2, and then you start accruing that advantage that Regenesis can do, so on and so forth. 1 warrior. I've thought about maybe running 1 more warrior, maybe running warrior at 2. It's kind of the only board breaker of the deck. I guess arguably dragon, which I also run 1 of. Dragon's also a board breaker, I suppose, but its spell and traps are a little bit less of an issue. It's rare that there is 1 spell or trap that's going to cause you a big problem. I guess Rise Your Cross or True Light are both things like that. But with True Light, at the very least, you need to wait until they try to activate it, otherwise, and then you try and banish it with this. But, you know, I think that Warrior is a solid card. It actually comes up as like a kind of board-breaking combo with the card I have later on, which I'm also going to maybe tweak the variant, the ratios of. But yeah, I'm also running 2 copies of Doomdog Octhros. So if you don't know what this does, when this card is sent from the field, you can read it here. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 level. Well, it doesn't say you can. It's you add. It's a mandatory effect. Add 1 level 8 Fiend type monster from your deck to your hand. And Archfiend is level 8 Fiend. So this is just a way to get Archfiend. It plays into Droll. It's not perfect, but it gives a little bit more consistency to the deck. And also, obviously, lets you... it's a normal summon deck that doesn't otherwise use a normal summon. And lets you go into things like Salamangreat Almirage and SP, and it's, you know, it lets you do a little bit more extra deck plays and whatnot. So it's not a terrible card. I like it at 2. I was playing it at 3, but I found this, like... Oh, hello? Have I froze up a little bit? Oh, no, it's just gone a bit slow. Is it... Okay, that's caught up now. Sorry about that. My camera went a bit funny. Anyway. So, I found that using 3 of these plus 3 of everything else was like a little bit bricky. I want to see 1 of these in my opening hand. Seeing 2 of these really sucks. Like, there's just no point in seeing 2 of these. So, you know, I think running 2 is fine. That's it for, I guess you would say, the engine, the monster engine, I guess you call it, and then running 1 Magnamut, 1 Drewsworm, and 1 Boldrake. I have tested this out, and I have used this build before with 5 Bestial hand traps, so just 2 Boldrake and a Saronir as well. I very nearly took that build with me. The only issue I have with that specific build is that what I was cutting to fit those 2 cards in, the 2 things I would cut would always, like, I'd prefer to see those over just more Bestials. I like seeing a Bestial in my opening hand. I like seeing 2 or 3. If I draw all 3, that's fine. I don't mind that. But the other cards that I would take out for them, I also really like. So it's you know, it's a bit of a... but yeah, I mean, obviously, I think there's one that got, I think, top 16 at UK Nats, which was a Bestial engine deck with Regenesis stuff. You know, you do you obviously do what you got to do and everything, but I like this ratio personally. Then running 3 Ash Blossom, because Ash Blossom, you have to run Ash Blossom. 3 Droll format, you got to run Droll. 3 for Warloss, standard. I am only running 2 Perulia. Reason for that is because this deck doesn't... So, for example, you don't particularly want to... I mean, obviously you never do with any deck, but especially in this deck, you really don't want to see these in your hand going first. So it's not necessarily the end of the world if you are running, for example, Ryziel, or Mitsurugi, or Onomat Ryziel, Heraldic Ryziel decks in general, or Malice or whatnot, or I guess even Vanquished All to some extent. Maybe a bit less so on that front. It's not the end of the world if you see 1 or 2 of these plus a starter. As long as you have a starter in hand, you're in good standing at that point. Like, you're fine. But with this deck, you need 2 cards in your hand. Unless you have Code, even then, that's only going to get you like Archfiend plus the Omni-Negate or the spell or the trap. You know, it's not going to get you like full combo, that sort of thing. So I kind of wanted to cut down on this because these really suck going first with this deck, because your non-engine in hand, your hand traps and whatnot that you have in hand with this deck going first are actually kind of a big part of your end board in a way, and ones that you can't use, not great. But obviously if you're going second, you need them. So like, I like this ratio. I think I never have more than 5 in my deck at any given time. That's kind of what I'd like to go with. Seemed to work well enough for me over the weekend, you know. I should mention, I don't think I said this yet, my record at the end of day 1 was 6-3. I won't lie, I was fairly devastated when I got my 3rd loss. I won 2, lost 1, was like, okay, 1 loss is fine. Won 2, lost 1 more, was like, okay, this is still fine. And then lost my 3rd game and was like, no, I've lost my guaranteed spot, no. And then I won the last 2 games, but you know, overall, very happy with my performance. I think that's the best I've ever done at any given event, at best record I've ever had, so I'm very happy with that at big events. Sorry, continuing to Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell was great all day, never upset seeing that in my hand, always great. More than one occasion, it saved me from my opponent using Call by the Grave, or what have you. Just a truly fantastic card. Ghost Spell, I actually think Ghost Spell is one of the few high impact hand traps that we have in this format. It's not always, obviously, in the same way that like Ash can end a turn, in the same way that Ghost Spell can end a turn. I think that this is really solid in this format. I genuinely do. It's the graveyard, like, but to be fair, like it often is, but the graveyard at the moment especially does seem like your second hand. Limit access to that. I've thought about maybe running this at 3. 2 I like at the moment, but maybe 3 at some point. And last but certainly not least, and I'm going to bump this up to 3. I don't know what I'm going to take out. This is going to 3. Lava Golem, insane card. Searchable with Doomdog Octhros. Now, you can't summon it that turn that you use Doomdog because you can't normal summon a set the turn that you summon Lava Golem. But you can do that. It's kind of a funny interaction. But yeah, just MVP. I was always happy seeing this in my hand. Even going first, I didn't mind because I knew that I'd be able. Usually, I could slow down my opponent enough that I can actually like survive. And then going into the next turn, I get my cards back, and then I can get rid of their board. Like Lava Golem is such a good card. I was worried that running it at 3 might get bricky. I don't think it will. I think it might be the secret sauce going forward. It's such a good card. So I'm considering it. We will see. What I thought about instead, actually, is running 2 of these and 1 of the, I think it's called Humongous the Sticky String Kaiju, because that has 2500 stat on it as well, but it has 2400 attack, so you can attack over it with your monsters. Whereas this is a bit tricky to get over sometimes. But, little fun thing you can do, tribute 2 of their things, if they still have stuff on board, summon Regenesis Warrior, get this back in your hand, and you can just use it again. It's not once per turn. If you have 2 of these plus a warrior, you can potentially get 3 lava golems off in the same turn. It's great. It's so good. It's such a good. It's good. I don't remember if I did that exactly, but I have done that before in certain games. So it's great fun. So that is for the monsters. Onto the spells. I'd say a fairly standard affair for the spells. Nothing crazy. I have gone for 3 Regenesis. It's the Searcher in my Kashtira build. Apologies, I may sneeze here. Bear with me. Oh, there we go. Bless me. In my Kashtira build, I was running this at 1. I don't hate that choice still. I think I would change it up to 2. I think 2 is good in the Kashtira build, but I think in this, yeah, if you're playing pure like this is, you definitely need 3 because it's just, it gets you engine, it gets you into game, you know. 3 code. One of the best cards in the deck. It's the only 1 card, quote-unquote, combo in the deck. Quick play spell, eat any from deck. It lets you play around roll if you get out Archfiend during the draw phase and add something. Fantastic card. You love seeing this in your opening hand. Every time, like, you can top deck it, even like halfway through a game, you're like, yeah, that's great, I can summon something from that. It's such a good card. And then I'm now running 2 Extravagance and 1 Prosperity. Again, in my Kashtira build, I was running 3 Extravagance and 1 Prosperity. If I'm not mistaken, the winning Vanquish Soul build from the WCQ event was running 3 and 1. Now, I understand the reasoning for that, because you just want to see Extravagance in your hand all the time. But something I noticed a lot at Nationals is that I was top decking 1 or 2, or I was then activating 1 and then drawing into another. So it's just like, when you have 3 plus this in your deck, you're effectively running like 4 pots. Oh, no, like it gets so bricky sometimes. Sometimes it works perfectly and you just keep drawing all game, it's great. Sometimes it's real bricky. So I think this ratio is nice because it's just 3 pots, 3 of a, think of it as 3 of a card, but this is obviously the best version of them. Yeah, I think this works nicely. And last but certainly not least, again, very good card, Call by the Grave. I have cut Triple Tactics Talents. Now, I think that Triple Tactics Talents is a great card. It's better going second in this deck specifically as Ball Breaker. And obviously, but if you're playing like a sort of big combo deck, you want to play it going first as well. I've noticed it doesn't really do quite enough in this deck going first. It's not bad, and some hands it can, it's Talents, it's a great card. It can really do well sometimes. I think that with this deck specifically, sometimes Ash Blossom ends your turn. Occasionally, your code will get ashed, and you just have to pass there. And that sucks. This stops that. This was like, actually, no, I don't want to get ashed here. I will continue playing. And they may have something else for after that and they keep going, but at the very least, this is, with this deck specifically, I do think that Call by the Grave is a little bit better. And also, arguably, a Ball Breaker, in a way. You're going second against Mitsurugi, and they've tributed Murakumo. Just that's the logic I use there. Yep, fantastic card. I like this spell lineup. I think it worked well. For traps, very simple. Just running 2 copies of Birth. In all of my Regenesis builds going forward, Birth is going to be at minimum 2. Considering it at 3 at certain points, I don't think 3 would be bad. My worry is obviously opening more than one in my opening hand, which I never did throughout the weekend, or Sage. Opening more than one of them opening hand there's a lot of 2-ofs in this deck, in case you didn't notice, and it's because the deck is so it's so very hand dependent, where you don't if you just have 3 of all your main cards, you could open 2 of multiple cards, and therefore you're oh, I just can't play that well. I can get, Sage, Archfiend this out, but then have a Sage and Archfiend still in hand. That's not enough. That's just 2 points of interaction. That's not enough for you are hand reliant, non-engine in hand, hand travel. You care about what's in your hand a lot as well. So you don't really just want to draw a bunch of engine, because that doesn't help you during your opponent's turn, because you only get 1 of each out. So you know what I mean. But I have considered this at 3. Maybe I'll start a 3rd copy purely for the Vanquish Soul matchup, because that deck is grindy, and this deck is grindy, and occasionally you get ground down to the point where you no longer have births in deck, and you know what you really want is a birth. So I might side 1 copy just for the Vanquish Soul matchup, because I will say I think I went against 3 Vanquish Soul players this weekend, and I won every match against them. So it's both in main event and side event, I won all my matches against Vanquish Soul. So I'm not too concerned about it that much, but it does get me right to that line of, maybe that 3rd copy of Birth would be the the play here. Insane card. It's just so good. Soul Charge, Book of Moon, Foolish, fantastic card. Extra deck, I've gone with a very similar theory and strategy, I guess, to my Kashtira build. No longer running the rank 7s, obviously, because Kashtira is a rank 7 machine. Rank 7 engine just does that. You have a lot less access to that with this particular build of the deck, because the only level 7s you have are Sage and Warrior now, so less of that. So more links, actually, just because you get bodies on board, so it's kind of easy to do that. 3 Typhon. 1 game I think I did summon all 3 at certain points and managed to. I think that was a Vanquish Star matchup. Was it? I don't remember now. It's been a while. I'm very tired. I'm running on 3 hours sleep. I'm very sorry. I was out until I think 2:30 in the morning with some lovely people I spent time with the other night. And then I got back to my hotel room, was up at 6, so I'm very tired. It's currently 10 p.m. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to bed. Yeah, 3 Typhon in this deck goes insane. Such a good card in this deck. 3 Almirage, because you run the Part of Extravagance, so even though I'm only running 2 Doomdog, I don't want to banish all of these, and therefore Doomdog is pointless. 3 Little Knights, because I can, and it's good. It's not OCG, it's not semi-limited, I can run it at 3, it's fine. And it's, occasionally the second one comes up. Sometimes you summon a Little Knight off of a Little Knight and get the effects again. That can happen sometimes, not the same turn, obviously, but still. 3 Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Also a great card. I think I only summoned this once. Did not take me the game. I was summoning this a lot more during Nats, and it was always very good. It's very good into Mitsurugi Raizel, and Mitsurugi in general, I've noticed. But I only went up against Mitsurugi variants, I think 3 times total for the weekend. And I won every game against them without having to summon this. So it's one of those things. Well, one every match, I should say, not every game. And then 3 World Gears of Theological Demiurgy. Now, if you don't know what this card does, it is unaffected by other monster effects. You need to summon it with 3 level 5 or higher monsters. And if you summon it with 3 monsters with different types and attributes, which a lot of the Regenesis cards do that, which is easy, you can once per turn on the main phase blow up the field apart from itself, and it has 3500 attack. So sometimes you just summon this real big body that is unaffected by monster effects, and once every turn can blow up the field. It's just real good. I did summon this once. It unfortunately did not get me the game, because he was able to get over it. I do not remember the matchup, and I don't remember how he got over it. I just know that he got a real big beefy body on board and attacked over it, and then he got game. But it was looking dicey for a second there, because again, it's a very good card. Side deck. So, make these short. There you go. Side deck is there's a couple of things I would change with the side deck. A couple of things, maybe one or two things. 3 Lancia, because you have to run Lancia. With the Kashtira build, I was running Chaos Hunter. I think that had more synergy with Kashtira because it does not stop yourself from banishing, whereas this does, and therefore Kashtira becomes like a moot point if it's on the board. But also because you can normal summon it off of Kashtira Birth, and therefore, so I think it has a bit more synergy with Kashtira. But in this build, Lancia, you know. 2 Ghost Ogre, I will side this in going first. Or going second. Like, it sounds weird to say, I don't have this in the main deck always, because there are just some decks that don't care about Ghost Ogre. Some decks just don't, it's whatever. Like, you Ghost over something and they're like, oh, okay, cool. But if I'm going first, I will side, regardless, I will side out something. I'll side out Lava Golem and put this in instead. Because Lava Golem going first, obviously, going first with this deck, the idea is to stop your opponent from even getting bodies on board if you can. And therefore Lava Golem, if you top deck it, is kind of whatever. So I'd rather keep this, because even if all I can do is pop an Ice Rizal with it, which is not what I would, but you know what I mean? If that's all I can do, I've denied a body on board, I've done something, it's part of my non-engine in hand. It adds to the layered board, you know? 2 Meows for Malice and Memento and stuff, you know, stuff that doesn't like Meows. I think here's where I'd start making change. Only really one change, I'd say. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster and 2 Lightning Storm. I'm going to cut a Lightning Storm. So I put in 3 Lightning Storm and took out a Dragon's Mind, so Dragon's Mind's at 2 now. I barely saw Lightning Storm. When I did see it, wasn't really that relevant. Harpies comes up a little bit more so. Lightning Storm, I know they do a very similar thing, but like, and also I didn't really see any back row decks for the weekend, or even any decks that cared that much about it. I didn't side this in all that much, maybe now and then. But yeah, yeah, I'm going to take one of these out and put in Dragon's Mind again, because that's a real good card. Now this card, absolute MVP of the weekend. Genuinely MVP of the weekend, and that is Deck Lockdown. Because almost every deck, I think Malice and Memento kind of don't care that much about it. Other than that, almost every deck, you do your combo, what have you, Archfiend, Sage, set REGENESIS Birth face down, activate Deck Lockdown, pass turn, you just win. You simply win, that's it. There's no debate there, you've won the game. And I saw this whenever I was going first and deciding for going first, when I saw this all the time. Like, I think there were 2 games for the whole weekend where I sided this in and didn't see it. My cat's meowing at me. Hello, kitty cat. I'm going to pick up the cat so you guys can see the cat, because she's cute and small. Do you want to say hello to the people? Oh, not the camera. Oh no. This is my kitty cat. She is small. Her name is Pepper. Hi, baby. Okay, bye-bye now. Whee! Good girl. Sorry about that. Not the camera as well. Yeah, Deck Lockdown, MVP. You can protect it with Dragon's Mind and Sage. So whenever someone tries to, like, oh, X, send Aggregator, I'll get rid of that. No, you won't. I'm going to get that. Now you can't play. That's it. The card is nuts. And it also does not slow down this deck that much, because if you have Birth set and your opponent summons any monster, you can flip that face down by sending for cost. You are searching still. You can play, you can with this deck, you can search while Deck Lockdown is active, because you get that back, and then you do that for 2 turns in a row and just like accrue advantage, and you just win. You can absolutely keep searching around Deck Lockdown with this deck, and that's why it's so powerful. And then 2 copies of Dragon's Mind. I think I saw this twice the whole weekend. It's a great card. I just never saw it. I'm definitely bumping it back up to 3. It's that good. Yeah, I just never saw it. I didn't luckily need to all that often, but sometimes it would have been nice, That's it for the deck profile. I'm going to talk about the weekend a little bit now. Already a long video, so I apologise, but I want to do like vloggy stuff. I want to talk about what happened. So I got to Berlin on Thursday. Nothing Yu-Gi-Oh related happened then. I got to Berlin. I got to my hotel. I was very tired. I had barely slept the night before. I went to my hotel. I went to go and get food. I chilled out. That was that. Day 0 of the event, the Friday, I entered an on-demand tournament. On-demand event. I won. I went undefeated. I dropped games, but I didn't drop any matches. I played against a Mitsurugi Raisiel and won against that guy. I played against, I think a 2-0 that guy, if I'm not mistaken. What was the second guy? Memento, won against that guy, and then it was Vanquish Sol and won that one. Like I said, I actually haven't lost a Vanquish Sol matchup all weekend. I've dropped games, but I've never lost a match against them. Vanquish Sol, like, it might sound weird to say. I actually think has a decent matchup into this deck, because this can match it in terms of grind game, and if not, potentially surpass it. And also, if you just kind of know how to play against it, it's not that bad, you know? Like, it's fine. It's kind of just fine, you know? It's a good deck. Vanquish Sol is a solid, it won. Like, it's a good deck, but it takes, I think, a very skilled pilot as well. As long as you can just stop them from searching and stop them from getting hand advantage, they just kind of don't win. And that's, you know, I think that's the one issue that the deck has, is that it's actually a modern top tier deck that can just die to an Ash, much like this deck actually. So I don't mind it. I enjoy the matchup, if anything, you know. I'll go draw back over to here now. I think it's a fun matchup. I think it's a fun game to do. So yeah, I entered the side event, the on-demand. Won, got my tickets. I really wanted the pot mat. You know, the one that has all the different pots on it. That's the only one I wanted. And I should have just gone to go and grab that on the Friday with my prize tickets. And that would have been that. But I was a little bit cocky and a little bit overconfident. Maybe not even more cautious, you know, optimistic, I'll say. Because, hey, you never know. What if I'd won, like, some of the big events and got enough prize tickets? What if I got, like, 55 prize tickets? I could get an oversized card with that, you know? I didn't. I should have got them at. What can you do? So instead I got myself a Time Wizard plushie, some Dark Magician sleeves, and an OTS pack. That was my prize tickets. So yeah, my matchups. Day 1, my first matchup was against Crystron with the Millennium Engine. That was pretty fun. Fun games. Sorry. Ooh. Oh no, I think I'm getting conflu. No. There'll be a sore throat going on. Yeah. Crystron with Millennium Engine. He went first for the first game. I managed to hand wrap him enough to stop him, and then I managed to go for game. Game 2, I believe he went first again, and I think he won that game. In Game 3, I managed to win it. Game 2 was against Mitsurugi Raisiel. He went first again. Droll, stopped him in his tracks. Game 2, Droll. I think I 2-0'd that guy because I just got Droll, so I got very lucky on that. He was playing well. He just, what can you do? He did not have the hands to play around Droll, unfortunately. So there you go. Game 3, I went up against Onomat Raisiel. That deck, man. Oh my goodness. He went first in the first game. He played through, I think I had Ash and Ghost Bell. He played through those. Hand ripped me with the Ouroboros, and then I was like, well, I guess, yeah, sure, you win, you know. Game 2, I went first, deck locked down, I won that one. No, sorry, I tell a lie. No, I don't, I did. I won that one. It was the late game that I didn't work there. So yeah, deadlock down, won that game. And then game 3, again, I just didn't see Droll. I didn't see Droll. And again, it's one of those decks that you just have to see Droll, because Onomat Raisiel will just keep playing. Unless you can charm with them or Droll them, they just keep going. It's so strong. They can play through so many interruptions and hand traps. So I couldn't do anything against it, unfortunately. It's one of those things, yeah, luck of the draw, or bad luck of the draw. Game 4 was against Mitsurugi Fiendsmith. I think I 2-0'd that guy. I think I went first the first game, managed to win. I think the second game, I think I charmed, and then it was enough to sort of stop him. and then I managed to get game. Game 5 was against... I won game 5, but what was it on? For the life of me, I do not remember what game 5 was on. Was that Vanquish Soul? That might have been Vanquish Soul. Yes, I believe that was Vanquish Soul, and it was a grindy game, but I did win it. Game 6 was against Heraldic Ryziel, and he had Onomat in the side deck for going first and playing around roll to, get out the Rafflesia sort of thing. That guy was very talented, very good player. He swiftly 2-0'd me. He went first in the first game. I didn't draw a roll. There you go. Second game, I went first. He did draw a roll, and then he just played through. He just went through all of what I had on board. Well, there you go. You win. Well done. Well, fair play. Well, you played very well. At this point, I was like, it's okay. I'm X2. I'm 4-2. That's not a bad record. I'm okay with that, and I can still make day 2 with this. Game 6. I went against a Crystron player, Crystron with Goldsark, a Horus Engine. I went first both games, and I misplayed real bad. And I can't remember what the first one was, but I know the second one was, I summoned, I went first, I summoned Regenesis Dragon, because I was like, okay, I want to get rid of, Goldsark, or I want to get rid of Goldsark, Kingsark, you know what I mean, the Horus card. I want to get rid of that, or I want to get rid of Crystron Inclusion or something. So I'll get a Dragon. I had Lancia in hand, so I should have gone Warrior, because I sent Lancia during the draw. You know what I mean? It was dumb misplay, because it just meant I had Dragon on field that was doing nothing, so it was pointless. And I do believe that cost me the game, because that extra point of interaction could have been enough. That guy, by the way, I don't know whether he was just very skilled or just had the God hand. I both Lancia'd and rolled him that turn, and he still kept playing and cleared my board. I don't know, that maybe he just had the God hand, but wow, that was impressive. Really impressive. Well done to that guy. So he 2-0'd me, and then my dreams were crushed. I was literally just no, because I was doing so well. Even if it was very nearly a draw. It was very nearly a draw, because the first game was really grindy, and the second game was obviously not going on for as long, but I had managed to do damage to him. He hadn't damaged me yet. I could have tried to go for the draw, but realistically, the only way I could have tried to go for the draw would be stalling, and I don't want to do that. That doesn't. I don't like doing that. I hate stalling. I hate doing I could have just been thinking. That's slow play. You can't, for one thing, you can't do that. For another thing, I don't like doing that. It's against the spirit of the game. If I'm gonna win, I want to win properly. If I'm gonna lose, I will lose. That is. I know that probably sounds very cheesy. I do believe in sportsmanship, and I do believe in the spirit of the game. And just stalling for a draw, I do not like, and it is against the spirit of the game. So I don't like doing that. I don't mind winning in time, I should say. I don't, obviously, if I can win in time, if I can play quickly, side quickly sort of thing, I think that's a bit different. But just sitting there going, thinking, still in main phase? We didn't get battle phase. Hate that. I think it's so, against what the game is about, Don't like that at all. Game 8, yes. I was against... What was I against game 8? Goodness me. Making me think now. Actually, I think game 8 may have been Vanquish Soul, and I think it might have been not Vanquish Soul game 5. I just can't remember what it was game 5. For the life of me. I do not know what it was. It may have just been another Ryziel thing. For the absolute life of me, I cannot remember my game 5 matchup. But yeah, Vanquish Soul was, because I remember it was on lower tables, and at that point with 3 losses it was lower tables. So yeah, it was Vanquish Soul, and then last game of the day was Malice. The first Malice I've seen at any big event since YCS Birmingham. I played against Malice, I think, twice at YCS Birmingham, never at Nats, and my last game at WCQ. Like, I just did not see Malice at all for such a long time. No idea why. And I like seeing Malice. Like, I play well into Malice. I know how to play against Malice. I used to hate Malice a lot. Now that I understand the deck better, I don't mind it. It's fine. Like, I get the game fairly well at this point. I get the deck fairly well at this point, I should say. So yeah, I think I 2-0'd the Malice guy, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I 2-0'd the guy. There was one bit, to be fair, I don't think he was winning the game regardless, because he had 500 life points, and the way that I had secured that game was I summoned Lava Golem on his turn, to his board, and then I passed turn. During standby phase, Lava Golem, boom. I think he did have a way to play around that if I didn't Lancia. But even if I didn't, like he sequenced his spells and traps wrong, so, and also did the wrong targets for them, I think. So what he should have done, he had a Malice trap set. I don't remember which one it was, but I think it would have kept him in the game a bit longer. Either way, Malice trap set, and he had the Malice quick play spell in hand. I had Dragon, Archfiend, and Sage on the field. That was it. And Lancia in hand. So, draw phase, Lancia, He immediately chained the quick play spell targeting Dragon. I chained Dragon targeting the face down. And he went, oh, and realised his mistake. And then he activated his face down, the trap, and I just negated it with Sage. And then that was it. Standby phase, I won. That was that. But that was the gist of that. I think if he had, I'm trying to think if there's a way he would have gotten that. I'm trying to think if there is a way he could have won. But no, truthfully, I don't think there is. I think even if he targeted Sage with the negate, you still just, yeah, I think, because I just sort of send Dragon effect, banish his face down, the face down activates, and then Sage isn't negated yet, so I send something to negate the trap, and then I think I think it was I thought it was a misplay. Maybe it wasn't a misplay. I think it was just a bad situation for him, unfortunately. Maybe it wasn't properly sequenced, but yeah, I think he was in a tough spot with that. And then I didn't realize. I mean, I knew that it was unlikely that I would make day 2. But I didn't know because the results weren't posted until like Sunday morning. So I arrived early at the venue Sunday morning, checked my name on the wall. I think I was on like 300 and something, so not in top 256. Like, what are you going to do? There were some 18 pointers in top 256. I was not one of them. Still, I will say I am very happy with my performance for the weekend. I really am. I entered a few on-demand events. I went out, like 2 of them I lost immediately, and the last one I won the first one, lost the second one, so there you go. And then I joined the Final Mega Challenge, which I went 6-2 on, which again was 6-2? 4-2? 4-2? 6-2? 4-2? Yeah, 46 right, so 4-2, yeah. But again, very happy. Overall, very happy. I think that aside from a couple of misplays, I think I did really well. I'm very proud of myself. On a rogue deck at best, I nearly made day 2. Genuinely quite happy. I'm very happy with my performance. I'm very proud of myself. I'm so glad that I went. What an experience. I've not flown in 10 years, never alone, so that was great. Yeah, great weekend. I'm so glad to be home because I miss my bed, I miss my cat. But yeah, it was just so much fun. Yeah, thanks for watching me ramble. Thanks for watching me talk about my deck, and thanks for, I guess, playing Yu-Gi-Oh as well, because it's great. If you're watching this, I assume you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Hey, do you like it? I love it. I want to play more. So I unfortunately I can't make locals this week because my work schedule won't allow for it, but if I could, I'd be going. I've now just played like 3 days solid of Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm like, I'll go. I don't care. I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I love it. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's great. So much fun. Thanks again for watching. 40-minute video. Sorry. And no, I will not edit it down. Watch the whole thing. Take that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Much love. Bye-bye.